Hey, it's the Hungry Vegan. Today I'm going to make some really nice pasties and I'm also going to make a bonus pie. So stay tuned for this. So I've got a pan on, super hot, and I'm going to get quite a lot of oil in here. Now you don't have to use this much oil if you don't want to, because I know this is like an obscene amount, but this is like a treat food, so I wasn't all that bothered. But if you want to replace that oil with a bit of water, that's fine. So this is me adding a small diced carrot, but it was only a really small carrot, and this is a medium onion, and I've also chopped that, it's quite small as well. And I'm just sauteing them until they're just getting clear. I speeded this process up so you don't have to watch it cook. Okay, and this is me adding in some vegan ground soya. I mean, everybody uses different types of this. I've got the Tesco one here, the soya mince. This is great, and all you do is you just smash it up fine so you don't get any big clumps of the frozen stuff. And tip it into the pan with everything else and let that cook through. Now, part of the reason I put so much oil in this is because I wanted to get this nice and brown. I don't think you can't get the mince nice and brown with water. I find it, you've got to have a bit of oil in there. So this is me adding some vegan gravy. Now there's about half a litre there, or a pint, and I use the Tesco's onion gravy that they do. It's really tasty. It's quite salty though, so make sure that you don't put any salt in the mince or anything like that. Make sure you save it, leave it out, and adjust it at the end. Now, as you can see, that gravy is quite thick because this is going to be a pie filling and a pasty filling, so you need to be quite thick. And also a handful of peas as well going in there. I don't know about you guys, but in pasties and pies and stuff like that, you know, I generally find some the odd pea or the odd bit of carrot in there. It's a bit of a tradition that I like, but you can add whatever you like. I also added about 2 teaspoons of pepper there and 2 teaspoons of parsley, just dried parsley. So I've left the filling there to cool down for probably about 15-20 minutes. Now I'm organising the pastry. Now I use the ready rolls puff pastry here. You just got to be careful with these, make sure it's vegan, because some of them do have butter in, but this one, luckily, it doesn't. You can also make this thinner if you like. Now, since I use the ready roll stuff, I don't ever tend to roll that out a bit more, you know. But if you want to roll that out a bit thinner, you can do. They're your pasties. You can do what you like. Out of that roll, there you can normally get 6 pasties. But because I wanted to make a bonus pie, I made 4 pasties and 1 pie. And I'm just chopping them up here into rectangles. It's me trying to figure out how many I can get out of it. Here we go. You can make these whichever shape you like, though they're your pasties. I find that with pasties though, you do get better value, you know, out of your pastry, because if you're making pies and you're cutting circles, you get lots of little bits of leftovers which you use to garnish or whatever. But pasties, you just can't go wrong. Okay, so I'm also getting an egg wash as well. Well, not an egg wash, but it's dairy-free milk. I just use soy milk just to brush it on to help things stick and help things brown. I should have speeded this bit up, shouldn't I? Here we go, my Homer Simpson mug. Okay, so now I'm just gonna fill the pasty up. Leaving a gap around the outside so you can get your milk wash around it, and you can do a little crimp as well. Okay, so just wetting it all the way around, and then folding it over. Just getting like a little parcel, and then all I did was crimp it with the end of a fork, which you'll see next, like that. It gives a nice finish, and it also seals in your filling so it doesn't ooze out everywhere. Now I just made a couple of V's on the top, just scoring it to let the steam out. And a final egg wash or a milk wash, and then it's popped onto a baking tray with parchment on top. These still did stick a bit though, but I don't think it could be helped unless you want to put more oil on your parchment. But I wouldn't bother though, because it's just more calories, isn't it? So this is me doing the other three of them quite quickly. And that's them just before they go into the oven. Right, so now I've cutting out the pie, and I've just kept a pie dish from something I used a long time ago, but you can use whatever you've got. And what you do is you just cut a bit of pastry out about round. It doesn't have to be round though, because I didn't bother with round, as you can see, but just to make sure that it fills up the tray that you've got. And just squash it into the corners you've got to squash it into the corners, but not too firmly, because if you stick it in too firmly it's going to stick. But I just cut some of the really bad edges off here just so they didn't burn in the oven, but it's pretty unlikely they're going to burn, to be honest with you, because they're not really in the oven that long, you know, they're in for about half an hour. Okay, so now with a pie you can get a lot more filling in a pie. So I really stuffed the filling in this one. And pressed it down too. So then just a milk wash around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. And this is the lid I'm just cutting out in another tray that I've got, just so you can get the lid the perfect size. Looking good. Okay, so now you just pop your lid on and push it down firmly into place. And then I'm going to put a V on the top of that as well, just to score it, just to remind everybody that it's vegan. Nice. So that goes in the oven for, I think the pie was in the oven for about 25 minutes, the pasties were in the oven for 22 minutes or so, maybe 23, and the temperature of the oven was 200 degrees Celsius. And it's a fan oven I used. And this is just me showing you that you can save the filling that you don't use. Just put it into the freezer. Just put it into a tub or whatever and put it into the freezer. And you can use it to make pasties again, or you can also use that to make a cottage pie or something like that, or just warm it up with some mashed potatoes, or put it on top of chips. Anything. It's just really good filling. It's really nice. I just pop that into the freezer. Okay, there's the pasties already, and as you can see they look great. All nice and brown with the V's on top. So this is me tasting them. No, this is the pie actually. I did a close-up of the pie and how crispy it was on top. And it was very, very, very nice. This is just me eating the pasty. But these were incredible. The only problem with these were they were a little bit greasy, but I think it's because with the vegan food I don't tend to eat a lot of oil, so it felt very greasy, but they were ultra tasty, and I would thoroughly recommend you trying them. So thanks for watching, and if you liked it, give us a thumbs up and subscribe.